Yeah, so Colston Loveland, tight end out of Michigan. I thought this was a shocker. I was hoping we would get Tyler Warren. We talked about Tyler Warren pretty much in every draft preview that we've had. I think overall, whether you want to debate with Warren or Loveland, I think it's a better offensive option than Cole Kmet. I think, with his route running, separation, I think that'll be key. I think he'll be more, especially with Ben Johnson behind the helm, I think he'll be better used offensively now than Cole Kmet was. I think the only, concerns is obviously, his play strength for a tight end and his injury concerns. But, I mean, heck, hey, if he can be a Travis Kelce, I'm not going to be mad at that. But, I think he comes from a very great program. And when they won the national championship a couple years back. So I think definitely not the pick that I wanted, but also at the same time, it's not a bad pick. I think Ben Johnson is seeing something here that maybe us fans aren't seeing. So
yeah,
I gave it a B.
Yeah, I was admittedly shocked when they took Colston Loveland. I will say I think that the first 9 picks went about as poorly for the Bears as possible.
Yeah.
Option number 1, Genty, was off the board at 6.
Oh, yeah.
Option number 2 was one of the offensive tackles. 3 of them went in the first 9 picks, including the pick right before us, Kelvin Banks to the Saints. And then Mason Graham was also off the board. So I think the Bears were on kind of, plan D in terms of their draft strategy. In an ideal world, would the Bears have traded down? Yes. Would they have tried to maybe accumulate more picks? Could they have gotten Loveland at pick 15? I think so. But this draft was not necessarily a draft that was so top heavy that teams were going to overpay to trade up. So I guess I understand it. Like we said, Loveland comes from the kind of branch of Travis Kelce type of tight ends.
Yeah.
You're not going to necessarily have him lead blocking on, toss or sweep or anything like that. But he's a tight end that's going to find the open space. He's going to be a quarterback's best friend. I think in a perfect world, he's a guy that's a chain mover on third down.
Yeah.
Good speed for a tight end. I mean, he's 6'6". That's a huge catch radius for Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Going to provide him with a security blanket. So I think I will grade this pick as like a C+. I don't love this pick. However, going back to what I said about Caleb Williams, this is a pick for Caleb Williams to make his life easier, to give him another option in the passing game. And, Ben Johnson in Detroit ran a lot of 12 personnel, 2 tight ends on the field. Yeah. So for those of you Cole Kmet lovers out there, have faith. I think you'll still be a part of this team. I think the Bears will now deploy a lot of 2 tight end sets, with Loveland being the primary receiving tight end of the 2. So I'll give it a C+ personally.
Yeah. So not a bad pick, but not a great pick.